Hello and welcome back to Compassionate Conversations. My name is Carlos Freck, Communications and Advocacy Manager at NAMI Racine County. Today, we bring you a special episode, recorded on August 29th, just before school started. This is the second part of a podcast collaboration with the Racine Video Production Workshop, a program by the Racine Unified School District. In this episode, I have the pleasure of having Sheri Hess, Outreach Coordinator at NAMI Racine County, as co-host. And we have the pleasure of talking to Pamela and Jason, host of the Racine Video Production Podcast, about mental health in high school, how to avoid isolation, how to help those who struggle with their mental health, the views of the new generations regarding mental health, and much more. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as Sheri and I did. And you can find the full conversation in the Racine Video Workshop YouTube channel listed in the description. Welcome to Compassionate Conversations, a podcast produced by the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI Racine County, discussing subjects related to mental health and mental illness.
I hear you guys have a podcast. Could you guys...
This one here.
Tell us
I'm going to sit back and let the professional talk now.
So we have a podcast called Compassionate Conversations. The idea behind the name is actually because the work that we do is to create a more compassionate society. And so our podcast is about mental health, mental illness. So all the items of the pod, each episode has something to do with how to better manage mental illness, how to eliminate the stigma on mental illness or mental health, because as I say, you could be living with a mental illness but be mentally healthy, and you could be mentally healthy and all of a sudden develop into a mental issue, mental concern. So that's the idea behind the podcast, and really we try to make it, short episodes so that you can listen. Well, I don't know, you guys, I don't know if you drive, but I drive 20 minutes to the office, so I usually use that time to listen to podcasts on the radio. So, and to keep it in a type of conversation that is, it can be fun, but it's about issues that we all have concerns about. And actually, because September is suicide prevention, we are going to be talking about depression and how to avoid or how to reach out to people who might have suicidal thoughts, and that's the subject for this month.
And how have you liked doing the podcast? Like, has the success, has the reach been well, or
we have been growing. We have 7 episodes so far. We have been growing slowly because these things
everything
slowly.
Takes time.
It does take time, but it has been a great experience. I do have some previous experience, but I don't know if you noticed, I'm from the south, not from the country, but south of the continent. I'm from Venezuela, so that's where I have the southern accent. So for me, this was a challenge because we don't do video; we only do the audio.
Audio, yeah.
And so I have done podcasts in Spanish before, but never in English. And so to me, that was the most challenging part. It is a learning experience, but more than that, and the learning experience because it makes me get out of my comfort zone and try something that I didn't do before. But more than that is learning from the people that I get to talk to, because they are very interesting people. Sheri was in our first episode, so was our executive director, her daughter in another episode. So there are people who either have had experience or have knowledge on on how it is to live with.
And where can we hear this podcast at?
So we are available on Spotify. We are available in Apple Podcasts. We are available 7 platforms. I started uploading to YouTube just as an audio. So just look up Compassionate Conversations and you will find us easily. Or NAMI Racine County.
Well, That's amazing. I mean, you're killing it, man, and your English is great. I mean,
Thank you. I'll be practicing.
yeah, it's amazing. Well, that's all the questions I have for you guys. I don't know. Pam,
I have one. Do you ever think of like doing an episode in Spanish? Because we have like a large like Latino community here, and I feel like mental illnesses is a little bit like a taboo topic almost.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be nice if you could like do an episode in Spanish. Because I know some podcasts do like, every 5th episode is a Spanish episode or something like that. Because I know, I feel it would be nice for like, to recommend to some family members who like might be struggling a little bit.
I love that idea. I feel much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Actually, we can talk about that because we could record with you guys an episode in Spanish. How is your Spanish these days?
No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Just surface level.
So, because it would be interesting, we did an episode on stigma, or the stigma of mental illness in minority communities, and there is certainly, it's not an easy issue. It has a lot to do with that idea of everything stays at home. But I think it's necessary to put it out there and that people know what to do, because one of the problems with the stigma is that people are afraid to ask for help.
Or like embarrassed.
Yeah, because they feel that, they have, a target in their chest now. And that is dangerous. That is dangerous because it puts you in a position where what do you do if you don't have any help? So I love the idea. I think we're going to have to do that.
All right. Well, that's all the questions we have. Do you guys have any questions about us or what we do? Yeah, not to put you on the spot. You don't have to. But
well, I'm glad that you brought it up because I got a couple of questions.
Oh, okay.
No,
perfect.
So again, we're about to start school. Yeah.
Are you so excited?
Right?
I'm excited, but I'm not.
I don't know. It's our senior year. So,
Senior year, yeah.
So we're closing it out. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like it's kind of almost like bittersweet. I feel like I don't know. It's bittersweet. I'm excited, but I'm also like, oh gosh, this is my last year of high school and off to college. And
Do you guys know what you're gonna be like pursuing after high school?
So I'm studying for engineering.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go to I'm planning to go to like a technical school, maybe like MSOE or like, I know Carthage just got a new engineering program like last year.
Nice.
I think so. But like a school like that.
Very nice. Okay. How about you?
I want to go to any school in like the Midwest that has like some prestige for like media. I really want to learn more about just content creating and media production. I think it's super cool.
So you're gonna remember us when you're
Right.
remember
When you're
the little
famous.
people when you're
Yeah.
famous. Right?
Yeah, we can do a conjoined podcast. We
There
can
you
collab.
go. There you go.
All right.
So, and that's one thing that I love what you guys do here, but maybe for those who are listening to Compassionate Conversations and don't know what you guys do, can you kind of tell us a little bit of the experience of the Racine Video Production? What is it like, and how does it work? How do you guys get involved in here?
Well, how do we get involved? I would say I started at the start of the summer. I knew that I was going to be doing something. I knew we were going to work with the police department a lot. I know that was a big thing because we're supposed to make 25 videos with the police department. Kind of being like a community voice, questions that the community members have for the police. And so I knew that was a big deal of that, is running the podcast for that and making videos for that. But then actually being in the internship and in the program, it's really fun being able to go out and make videos for local business owners and people in the community, and just being like a voice for somebody or shedding light on somebody's business or program, and just learning, people in the community. It's really amazing.
And I had to say, I follow you guys on Facebook and YouTube, and I've seen the videos. I have to admit that like, every video is better than the other one. So whatever it is that you guys are learning with this program is working. I was talking to somebody precisely about this recording, and I say, it is incredible to see what these kids are putting together because you guys are the next generation of professionals. So what what you guys are doing is amazing, and I don't live in Racine, so for me it's very informational. Like I know what's going on in Racine through you guys, so that is pretty cool.
That's
really,
awesome.
And
That's
really,
amazing.
really like to see you guys doing that. Now, let me ask you a question. So, again, we're excited about school. Yeah, I know it's senior year. Now, how do you ever feel stressed out? Do you ever feel like fear somehow of coming back to another year, or it's just you're just pretty chill? Okay, we're going back to another year.
I mean, I guess I'm nervous for because this is our final year, so it's like, our finals, we're doing the finals again, or we're doing major testings. So it's just nerve-wracking, but I'm also excited because I'm in a lot of clubs. And my club, I'm a part of LSU, Latino Student Union. And we're planning to do a lot more community-based stuff and not more stuff in general, but for Latinos or students in case. I mean, it's for anybody, right. But we're just trying to do a lot more to learn and spread our culture.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. Awesome. Oh, you.
It's definitely a nerve-wracking feeling. Because, I don't know, I guess the more you get into it, as a senior, compared to being a freshman, it being your first year to being your last year in the building and everything, already kind of knowing your way around. But it's definitely nerve-wracking. And they're just with the pressures of school, and the pressures you put on yourself. I know that I feel obligated to get good grades. I kind of had not the greatest sophomore year, and so I'm really trying to bring my GPA up, and so I feel pressures of I really need to keep keep on track, stay focused, and so that's definitely nerve-wracking, having to know that I'm gonna have to push myself. Yeah. But I like the structure, and I'm excited to go back. I'm excited to see my friends. I'm excited to talk to people, learn new stuff, but there's definitely some nerves that come with it, for sure.
Well, and that's actually my next question, because how do you handle that? School can be stressful for different reasons, the relationships, the situations, the demands of education. So how do you keep yourself stable throughout the school year and throughout those demands?
Well, I think your program is great with what you guys do. I think I'd say the number one thing is, we're social beings. I think just talking to other people, being able to talk about your life and talk to somebody about their life it's really refreshing. And I don't know, it's almost like taking a shower. It's like cleaning yourself. It's like a cleanse almost,
Yes.
Of just a breath of fresh air.
I feel like that too, where you can just have a conversation and then get rid of it and then feel better, and go into the new day, wake up the next morning and be okay,
feeling good.
It's a good new day, we're gonna start afresh, and new problems.
100%. Yeah. So just talking to people, and then also just finding interest doing what you love to do. In your off time when you're not working in school or doing stuff for that, do what you like to do, whatever it is. I like to take photos, so going out and taking photos is really fun. Cool. And even playing video games, stuff like that, just little stuff to almost not to keep you distracted. But
what do you like to take photos of?
Everything, because I don't want to limit myself.
Okay.
So I try to work on everything: portrait photography, landscape. I don't know, what should I say? Product photography. I just love taking photos of everything. If I can find a cool shot of literally anything, I'll try to do it. So.
When you guys do your podcasts, does that make you feel mentally healthy? Does it take a lot of stress off you? I realize it's probably stressful doing the podcast.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, how do you feel?
It's rewarding. It's definitely rewarding, and seeing seeing your work just displayed in front of you on a video is definitely rewarding. And a lot of people see it, and I've even people who I don't even know have come up to me and said, I've seen what you've done, and that's really cool, and that's an amazing feeling for me, because I don't know this person, but yet they
But you're famous now.
yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I did that. Like,
But,
wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an amazing feeling. It's very rewarding, for sure.
How about you?
I would say it's really fun, especially like hearing about it like afterwards, like when we're done. And I would see like my family or something, they'll be like, oh yeah, like I saw you in the newspaper. And I'll be like, oh, like that's so fun because like they see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like we're not just like behind the scenes type of thing. I think that's really fun.
Yep.
Now, well, you were just talking about doing a podcast in Spanish because of the state of the stigma in minorities, and there is this idea of older generations that, as I say, that there's the idea that people who live with a mental illness are broken. What's you guys' thought on that? Is that because it has changed? We speak more about mental health and mental illness now than we did before. So, what's your opinion on mental illness and mental health?
I mean, I think it's kind of sad that people try to be like, oh, like they can't do anything because they have this mental illness. Because like all you're doing is limiting that person. And like if you keep telling those things like to the people who have like, oh, like ADHD, like, oh, you can't do that because you can't focus on this. It's like you're just limiting on what they can do. And you're like not pushing them to like the best they can be. So I guess it kind of sucks.
I just want everyone to be happy. I just want everything to work out for everyone. I don't know. Could you reiterate the question a little bit?
I guess
I just want to be able to answer it a little bit better.
I guess my question is, this generation, your generation, speaks more about mental health and more about mental illness, much more openly than other generations did, which makes me believe that acceptance of mental health and mental illness is higher, and it will be higher as you guys go into life. So, for you, what I don't know if you ever thought about your own mental health, but have you ever given it a thought? And what do you think that you need to do to keep yourself healthy?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I definitely do, and recently, like I've been thinking on it. It's just because I know a lot of my friends and even like my girlfriend, like she's got her own therapist and stuff, and I feel like I almost feel like I kind of want to go into therapy just so I have like somebody to talk to feel like if I am, because like I don't know if I'm emotionally healthy. I've just been living with myself, and I'm just what I know.
Right.
So it's awesome that you guys are putting that knowledge out there, and you guys run classes. What is that? Not to, I know you were asking me a question.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Like, what is like the curriculum for it, or what do you necessarily teach? I mean, I guess I have a broad idea of it, but
well.
We do
That's what
offer.
the challenge, what the talent can tell you.
I don't run the class. I do the presentation, so I just go in and give information. But we do. Courtney Kadoff is our program coordinator. Obviously, she's not here today, but on her behalf, I can tell you about some of the programs that we do offer. We offer peer-to-peer, which is an educational course. I believe it's a 8-week.
8 weeks. Once they meet once a week.
Yep. And that is like a curriculum-based course, and that teaches you, if you are living with a mental illness, it kind of teaches you about mental illness, different coping mechanisms, and how to deal with your mental illness, and how to find resources and things like that, which I think it's really helpful to know that, because it's not like you're handed a book, like, right. Here, congratulations, you have a mental illness, here's how to handle it. No, nobody gives you a handbook. And then we also have a family-to-family course. Again, if you have a family member who has a mental illness, that's difficult too. Nobody gives you a handbook to tell you how to deal with that either. So we do offer those educational courses, and those do come with, it's a curriculum-based thing where you learn about coping skills and just information in general, how to get a diagnosis, how to get help, how to find a therapist, things you should look for, different things like that. So yeah, we do offer programs like that, and you can always find information, upcoming events, on our website.
Right, NAMIRacineCounty.org.
Yep.
And you will see a lot of, and we are trying to always add more, because the more you know, the better.
The more you
The
can help.
better. Yep.
100%.
Now let me go back to the question.
Yeah. Yeah. My bad. I didn't wanna-
Great. Thank you for that, because it's
Yeah.
important that people do know, and it gives Sheri a chance to talk.
Yeah.
But now you said before that we are social beings, right? And that talking to people help us in our own mental health journey. Have you guys ever felt isolated or disconnected somehow? And how do you handle that if you do?
I mean, yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like once you're alone, like, there's nights where I'm alone in my room, and I just, I know I have friends, I know I have family that love me and stuff, but you can't help like escape the feeling of being like, feeling like almost like this disappointment, or feeling like there isn't really anybody there or something. I think the best thing is talking. Whenever I feel like that, I try to reach out to somebody. I try to reach out to one of my friends, or my brother, or my girlfriend, just because I don't want to stay in those thoughts of feeling like that and isolated. So, I try to I talk to whoever I can. So it's amazing that you guys give the opportunity to people who, might not have necessarily as many friends or family that's there for them or something like that. That you guys are there, no matter what the situation. So
We do what we can. How about you?
Oh, for me, I really struggle talking, especially like.
Well, that's great for the podcast.
I mean, yeah, but like, cause I tend to be like a cry talker. So like, as soon as I talk about something, I burst into tears like immediately. And so like, I wouldn't reach out because I find it really hard. And like, if I start crying right away, that's a little embarrassing because you can't understand me,
Right.
right? Because like I'm sobbing and you just like, what is she saying? Like, anyways, so like I would normally just like talk to myself a little bit because I do that all the time in my room.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Self-talk.
Yeah, self-talk.
It's a coping skill.
And that would help me a lot because, I don't know, I feel like, especially since I'm used to like, it stays within the family type of thing. So it's like, I can't share this with anybody else because like this is private.
Private business.
Private, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, I just tend to keep it to myself.
And do you don't feel that even if you're just crying, you just let that emotion out, you don't feel that helps you somehow?
Sometimes, but sometimes it's just like, it was about nothing. But I just was like, I mean, it did make me feel better, but like, it depends who it's with.
Yeah.
I guess.
I did hear a tip though one time that, because I'm kind of like that too. When I'm emotional and I start talking, then I just start crying. Someone told me if you start humming, then you can't cry, but then you look like a weirdo because you're just sitting there humming. I thought of it. I was like, okay, but I'd rather be crying.
You just look a little silly.
Yeah, just look a little silly when you're sitting there humming, and people are like, why are you humming? So yeah, I don't know. Just a little bit of advice. Bad advice.
Well,
But yeah.
it could be good depending on the situation.
Right. When you feel like you're going to cry, hum instead. Okay.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I heard it and I was like, that's kind of weird advice.
It is kind of weird.
Now, the statistics say that it's about 1 in 4 students go through depression and some type of mental issues. Could be whatever. And I don't know if you have the experience with any of your friends or family members, and you don't have to tell me that. But if you ever see somebody who is disconnecting, who is maybe going through depression, maybe things are not going well in school, or million things, because you guys are teenagers. I mean, and this is the moment where all the emotions do happen. So what would you do? How would you approach that person? Or would you? I mean, again, connecting with the idea that we are social beings.
I'm trying to think. I feel like it's hard sometimes. I mean, if it's your friend compared to somebody, I guess, rather than a stranger, I guess I would say, just a random classmate. But I guess if I'm close to someone, just asking, like being like, man, like I'm here for you, and just letting them know, like constantly, like even in random situations, just even in class, like just doing homework together or something, and just be like, man, I love you, bro. Like you mean a lot to me. You know, I just want you to know that. Just I don't know, sprinkling stuff here and there, letting them know that if there's ever a time where it's really reached a point where they're like, I really, really, really need to talk to somebody, and they can just think to the back of themselves, you know what? I mean, Sawyer, he always, you know, he's always said that. He's always, so, you know, maybe let me give him a call. Let's see, you know? And, you know, it's just, I feel like that's definitely what I like to do throughout my life, for the people I'm close with to know that I'm there.
That makes me tear up, Sawyer. That is...
She's going to start
that,
humming.
I know, right? No, that's exactly what you should do. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. We all need to do that. We all need to, if we care about somebody, we need to tell them that, because that's what's going to get them through those tough times, you know, when they're thinking bad thoughts or like feeling low, like what you're saying, you know, you're in your bedroom and you're feeling low. You're thinking, okay, but so-and-so loves me, so-and-so cares about me. They just told me that the other day in class. Bro, I love you. You know, they're going to remember those silly little moments. So, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
So in like middle school, I've had this friend who was struggling mentally. And so, I mean, I would just try to be there for her, because I've asked her before if she wanted to reach out for help, and like I would help her with that. But she said no. So I was like, okay, I'll respect your decision. Just like, so you know, like I'm here for you. And like if anything like happens, just let me know. Cause what's it called? Cause where she lives really close to the school we went to, and like my dad's house, like it's like 2 blocks away. So like whenever I'm there, I would like try to hang out with her just to make sure like she's okay. And like she's a lot better now. We're not that close anymore, cause like this was in middle school, and like 4 or 5 years has passed, especially with COVID and everything. I always try to like keep in touch just in case, but she's doing a lot better now. Good. And I don't think I've had any other problems with my friends, but I always try to be there for everyone. So like, if you're going through something, like I'm here to listen at least, because I might not be able to like give the best advice, because like I'm the same age as you. Like, this is I have no idea, but like there's Google, and like there's help.
And sometimes all anybody needs is just somebody to listen.
Yeah.
Presence. That's very important.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about, you just mentioned COVID.
Yeah.
You guys haven't had it easy. I have to handle I mean, it hasn't been easy. How was that period for you guys?
Stupid COVID.
For me, honestly, it was pretty fun. Because I was at home, I was playing games. Actually, I got a lot closer to my friends in middle school because of COVID. Because before, like, I had no reason to message them outside of school, because I would see them the next day. And like my school was really small, so like every class we had it together, because there's only 13 of us. And so I didn't really have the need to message them, but like because of COVID, it's like, we talked a lot more, we got a lot closer, and like we're still friends now, even though we go to different schools. So
you didn't feel the isolation, you didn't feel the sadness of not being able to see people?
I guess a little bit, but since like my family's so big, right, and I see them all the time, right. So it's like even during COVID, like there were some tough times where like we had to go to a funeral like through Zoom. That was really weird. Yeah. But we were all there, right? It was never like I miss this person because I don't see them anymore. I still see them. It's just like not in person anymore.
Yeah. I mean, obviously having the connection, keeping the connection saves a lot of sadness and issues. How about you? How was your experience? If you tell me that you had fun too, I'm going to start thinking that COVID was more fun than I thought.
I mean, there's definitely some highs and lows to it. I mean, at the time, it was just before freshman year. So like, I don't know, maybe this mid 8th grade year or something. So, I mean, at the start of it, you know, being off, having those days, those weeks off, it felt refreshing, and it felt nice. But the more it went on, the more serious it got, obviously. And not being able to see my family members like that definitely did a toll on me. And yeah, it definitely did get a little tougher around COVID. But I don't think it was anything too tough for me personally. I know for a lot of other people, it definitely can be.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers on mental health issues went way up after COVID because of that, because of the isolation. So I'm glad that you guys had the connections, the necessary connections, because you can see how important they are. What else is that? No, no, okay. Don't look at me that way.
Just looking at your hands.
Okay. Now, people your age are going to be listening to this, and maybe they never thought about mental health, or maybe they have mental health concerns, and you know, we're adults. We are adults. We have certain experience. Well, not really, but.
Okay.
We don't behave like such.
No.
But it's not always easy to listen to an adult when he's trying to tell you something that you are feeling. So what would you say to those young people about, you know, their own journey of mental health? And I don't know, what would you recommend that they do to take care of themselves?
I feel like if someone's struggling, reach out. Reach out. I definitely it's definitely very tough. It's very hard sometimes, and being in that pit, it's definitely hard to reach out. You don't think anybody cares. You don't think anything really matters, that it really means anything. But most definitely reaching out, it's a great first step. And you can just build from it. It's definitely tough, and it definitely in that curve of the age range.
Right.
Obviously, being so young and having to talk to an adult with all these issues and everything, and having them tell you. But I definitely think it's just good to reach out. It's good to talk to those people. And I mean, if it doesn't work out the first time, there's different people. You know what I mean? There's different therapists where maybe this one didn't work with you, but you met somebody else and it clicked. So.
Definitely.
I think just trying to reaching out is probably the best thing you can do, because just keeping yourself in like that pit and just bellowing it, I guess, I don't know. It's just not good. It just stacks on top of each other, and it just gets too much for people. So if you're feeling that way, reach out. And it's amazing that you guys are an organization like that you give the opportunity. Like I said, even if people who necessarily don't have those people around them, that you guys are there. So that's amazing.
We try.
Oh, for me, since like reaching out is kind of hard, I would say like something as small as like a voice memo is like an easy like step forward to be like, oh, like this is how I feel. You can always listen back to it as well. Be like, oh, this is what I said. Like, how do I fix that? Or like, oh, like I know, but when I do it, I feel like, man, that's kind of cringe. That's why I stopped being sad. But it's like, I don't know. There's also like online forums, like anonymous forums. Like, oh, if you really feel like you have to share this out, and like you don't have someone necessarily to talk to, like you don't have a close friend, you feel like, oh, like I could tell them this. Like you can probably do it anonymously online, because I know there's a bunch of sites you can do that on. Whether it be like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, you can probably reach out through there as well, because you can also have an online community. It doesn't have to be like in person if you don't want to.
In fact, there's a number 988, and that is for, you know, it helps you when you're having emotional issues, and it's also a suicide prevention line, and they are nationwide. And you can also text them, so you don't have, or chat online, and they they try to talk to you about how you're feeling and trying to, get you out of those thoughts. So it's a lot, and it's anonymous. So reaching out becomes more easier there.
I'd say another thing, maybe with more of like a confidence issue. I know for me personally, I suffered with a confidence issue younger. But just, I don't know, like positive affirmations, like something like that. So small, of just telling yourself every day, like you're like, you mean something. You have, you have a purpose. You're very important. And it might sound dumb, like you said, it might almost be cringy to tell yourself that, to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm
Right, it kind of feels silly.
Yeah, a little silly.
But it's not.
Yeah, the brain is so powerful, and people really don't understand that. And just those everyday building, because it's not going to happen right away. You're not going to tell yourself the first time, this and necessarily believe it right away.
Right.
But the more and more it builds, the more you do start to believe it, and it does get better. So
Absolutely, that's a great idea.
Just small stuff like that too, even.
Yeah, I used to put Post-it notes with affirmations up on my mirror when I was struggling with my mental health, because then every time I brushed my teeth or brushed my hair or whatever, I would see those and read them, and finally, because you hear so many negative things throughout the day that really it's really hard to believe those positive things. But yeah. Positive affirmations, absolutely.
Most definitely.
That's
Good idea.
Great ideas. So, perhaps the message is to be open to the emotions that you are feeling, because you can avoid them, but don't get stuck on them.
Yeah, one thing I accept it. You're human, so we all feel. Don't try to feel like an outsider for being sad about something.
Right.
Or anything, any emotion.
It's a normal emotion. They're all emotions. There are no good or bad emotions. They just are.
That's what.
It's
human.
just how you deal with them.
So
That's positive or negative, and positive is reaching out. Positive is getting help. Positive is, doing those affirmations or talking to a friend or realizing that you aren't alone. That's that's what our hashtag. You are not alone, because you never are. All you have to do is text someone, or, even if you do listen to your own voice, you're not alone.
It is true. And knowing that you're not alone is one of the most important steps on your own mental health. Knowing that there is some, like you say, being present. Even if you don't say anything, but, letting that person know that you're there for them. Reach out on the phone, but knowing that you're not alone is very, very important. I love the conversation, and I think I really appreciate what you guys are doing and your podcast, which we can find in.
You can find us on our YouTube, Racine Video Production. I think that's where it'll be posted. We're trying to get on all platforms, the audio. We're gonna work with that with you, Jason, right? Getting the audio side set up with you guys, or you guys got it all on 7 platforms. But for the video one, you can find us on YouTube at Racine Video Production.
And again, I think. And you guys have a whole team. We are just
it's
me.
Just Carlos at our place.
And it is incredible what you guys do.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever need assistance, we're volunteers as well. So
wow, Carlos.
I'll take names after we.
I know, right?
But really, no. And congratulations on. On
you can look into that camera and
tell
them.
I'll take names. Because it is incredible for me to see a group of teenagers doing so many amazing things and reaching out to other people. Believe me that what you do is people notice, as you say. Now you're famous, but and listening to you guys, it really gives me hope on what's coming next.
On our future, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I do believe that the idea behind having compassionate conversations is precisely that we can reach out to other people and let them know that they're not alone, and you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
100%. Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
It was
Thanks for
amazing.
having us.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Peace
Thank
out,
you.
RVP Nation. That was amazing, guys. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It's so
Thank
funny.
you. Thank you.
It's a wrap.
Compassionate Conversations is brought to you in a partnership with United Way of Racine County. Thank you for your support. NAMI Racine County is a local affiliate of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Our vision is to create a compassionate community where all people affected by mental illness live healthy, fulfilling lives. NAMI Racine County provides advocacy, education, support, and public awareness so that all individuals and families affected by mental illness can build better lives. Visit us at www.namiracinecounty.org for more information on mental health and related activities.